everyone, it's Henriette and Heather, and welcome to a Millennial podcast where we dive deep into the life of our 30s.
We'll discuss our struggles, dreams, relationships, icks, and anything millennials can relate to. Sit back, relax, and let's head on this journey together. We are 30s Unfiltered.
Hi everyone, welcome back to 30s Unfiltered. It's Henriette and Heather here, and today we are getting into a topic that we know a lot of you can relate to, which is feeling behind in life.
Yep, we've all been there. You hit your late 20s or 30s, and suddenly it feels like the world is telling you where you should be. Married with kids, climbing the corporate ladder, buying a house. And if you're not there yet, it's easy to feel like somehow you failed. But the truth is, there is no universal timeline. And we all move at our own pace, and that doesn't mean we're behind.
Yeah, so we're going to break down why we feel this pressure and how to stop comparing yourself to others, because you are not behind on your own timeline. If you can relate, this episode is for you.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Yes, I love this topic. I just feel like there's just so much pressure, especially as millennials, that we have to live inside a certain picture that like our parents have put us in, society has put us in. I don't know about you, but for me, I've really had to break a lot of those barriers in my life so that I don't feel stuck, essentially. Yeah, what about you?
I feel like especially for women, because like we do have a biological timeline. Not that it's impossible to get all those things that, the biological things like having kids later in life, but we were just always told that like you're getting older and like your clock is ticking. I feel like it depends on where I am, because when I'm here in Norway, like everyone around me has kids. They've had kids for a while. They have a house. Like they're married and all of this stuff. But when I'm in LA, most of my friends are still single and like still figuring it out like me. And so I feel like the timeline is more present here while it's not in LA.
Yeah. No, I totally feel that. I feel like, I don't know if it's just like here in LA, but
And New York too.
Right.
New York, yeah.
We're just living our lives however the hell we want to live them. And I love it. And I guess that's why I don't feel like I want to move anywhere else, because that is how life is outside. You settle down, you get married, you have kids, you're just like stuck at home. When you're here, you get to be creative, you get to live life on your own terms, and there's a lot of like-minded people that you can surround yourself with that makes you not feel like you're alone.
Yeah. And I feel like also there's so many more people there that are following like different paths, so it's very unlinear in like LA and other big cities, whereas here it's just like you're kind of looked at like, why, if you don't do what everyone else is doing,
Yeah. I feel like there's a shift though happening on social media. I don't know if you see it, if you feel it. More people are being more authentic and doing things outside of the norm. I don't know, because I'm not on social media too much, but like when I do see it, I do see like this shift happening.
I've noticed more on TikTok, like on my algorithm, that a lot of women my age or a little bit younger, they are living the life that I'm living. And like once you see like one or two videos that you can relate to and that you like, you go into their profile, those are the only types of videos that you'll see. And then I've started seeing so many videos of women who are in their late 20s, early 30s that are like, I quit my job, or I lost my job, and like I got out of a relationship which I thought was going to last, and then I moved back home with my parents and I'm starting over and I'm single, blah, blah, blah. Like I don't know what to do with my life, but like this is just how it is right now, and like this should be normalized, which is exactly like that's my life right now. And so it's interesting that I'm seeing more and more people like me, and I'm like, yes, finally. And I see that, well, especially this one girl that I follow, who her whole thing is like, I'm 27 and I've like never had a boyfriend, blah blah. And it's nice to see that it's people are like, she has so many followers and people are relating, and it's so nice to see because unless you have met people that are in a similar situation as you, then you don't really know how many of them are out there, you know?
Right. And I love love the algorithm.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta love the algorithm. Sometimes
It's
I'm just like,
politics
man,
and that. That's what it is like right now. It's like it's a lot of politics in the US, a lot of Americans leaving the US, and so it's like how to get a dual citizenship, how to move to Europe, like how to like blah blah blah. And then
I
there's
don't
like
see that stuff on my feed. I don't see anything out of the US in my feed. Actually, I'm lying because I watch a lot of Korean
oh,
food things.
I
So
love
they
Korean
show up on my
food.
feed all the time. But otherwise, I don't really see anything outside of the US on my feed. Is that weird?
Weird. That is,
Isn't that
I
weird?
think it's probably also because of like just how your algorithm is now. If you've started following a couple people like from Europe, then probably your algorithm would change. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I sent you a couple this morning about people traveling to the US, which I'm not gonna do while Trump
Yeah.
is in office. Like, I'm not because shit's scary.
Yeah.
People are getting
It,
detained.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, honestly, at this point.
Have you
Um,
seen those where like I'm not saying anyone should, but
no, I
not
haven't.
saying anyone should, but like those
Did
videos
you send that to me on Instagram or on
on
TikTok?
TikTok.
Okay, I need to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been a little MIA on social media. I'm trying to be more present and live my life, work on my projects, be more present. And that's where I'm going again. Because I feel like once I started getting back on social media, I started just going down these rabbit holes. I would catch myself on certain days where I would just be scrolling and,
Mm.
it'd be like 8 o'clock. And then like by the time I look at the clock again, it's like almost 9 o'clock. And I'm like, oh fuck,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
just wasted almost an hour on social media and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a problem.
I do.
So,
I feel like I learn a lot, especially on TikTok, because I think my algorithm now is like actually I'm seeing smart people say very intelligent things, and I'm learning a lot from them. Whereas on Instagram, it's just it's the people that I've followed always. Like it's a combination of like my friends and influencers or celebrities that are living, like more lavish lifestyles and not showing everything and talking about everything. And so like I mean, going back to like the timelines and everything, I think it does help when I see, a lot of these, influencers and whatnot, they are getting married and having kids later in life also. And like, so that's kind of nice. Like, they focus on their careers and everything. And, like, I know not a lot of them are sharing their ages, but it's easy to find it if you just Google it. And so, like, I saw Olivia Culpo is pregnant and she's the only one I can think of right now. But so like it's kind of nice, I think, at least in my case, to see that all these women that I look up to and are like inspired by, they are choosing to also wait, even though like they have the money, they have the resources, they have all these, they have all the resources to have kids and still, work, because they could have 5 nannies if they wanted to, but they're still choosing to wait because there isn't like a rule to follow when it comes to what's right and when you should have kids.
I also am on the other side of social media where I see people starting over at
Mm-hmm.
30, breaking up, starting a brand new life after you've been living a life of marriage and kids and someone else. And you've been doing that for a long time. And then all of a sudden, everything starts to crumble. And now you have to restart your life
Mm-hmm.
at 30
Yeah.
or 40. And I'm like loving it because it just shows life is constantly changing. People are always going to tell you, you should get married, you should do this, you should do that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, people don't know other people's relationships.
Yeah.
Like, if you're pushing somebody to get married and they're not ready yet, they're going to get divorced soon, you
Yeah.
know?
True.
Like, go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Don't follow whatever anybody else says. For what I like to do is, if I'm going to take your advice, I'm going to look at your life and I'm going to say, do they know what they're talking about? Are they following what I would want in my life? If
Same.
not, then I'm not going to, like, thank you for your advice. I'll take it into consideration, but it's just not where I'm going.
Literally, that's my like mantra too. Like, don't ask advice from someone who isn't like walking the same direction you're walking in. Like, I mean, it depends on what it is because certain things can be transferable regardless if it's a personal issue. But if it's like a life matter of like your life goals and someone who has a completely different lifestyle than you and who doesn't want the lifestyle that you want, then why take their advice? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just like, it doesn't serve me at all, you know?
Yeah. And people should stop giving unsolicited
Yeah,
advice.
a
PSA,
thousand
stop
percent.
giving unsolicited advice. Wait for somebody to ask you for
Yeah,
your advice.
100%. 100 million%. Like, I cannot, yeah, literally, I'm so sick of it.
Speaking of that, have you ever felt like you were falling behind because of what other people were trying to tell you what to do with your life?
No. I think I am, as you know, pretty stubborn when it comes to like things I want to do. So I've only given myself the pressure of like a timeline. And of course, like just seeing, comparing myself to not even like necessarily the people that are telling me what to do, but just in general, people that I inspire to and like whose life I want. Um, but no, I feel like I'm the opposite. When if someone tells me I should do something that I don't want to do, then I get like annoyed and I almost get mad and then I'm like I want to show even more that no, I'm going to do the opposite. you know?
To prove your ass wrong, I'm going to do exactly
Yeah,
the opposite you tell me to do,
exactly. Because like I'm
and you're
telling
going
you,
to
I
hate
don't
it.
want to. Yeah, exactly. And because sometimes it doesn't really help if you say like, well, whatever you feel is right isn't necessarily right for me. Or like, because I've learned, through therapy and everything that a lot of people will project whatever they think is right onto someone, especially if they're not doing whatever you're doing. And if you're saying that, well, I don't want to do that, like I don't want to live your life or whatever, then not always, but sometimes it can make them feel like offensive because they are starting to get insecure about their own life choices. If
Mhm.
that's the case, if they do get offensive, then it's like, well, you don't want to do what I'm doing. Am I doing it wrong? Type of thing. I think maybe I would have felt that way if I wasn't so sure of what I actually want, If I was like, oh, I don't really know, like I'm starting over and all these things, like there, I know what I want. I just don't know when it's going to happen. And that's why I feel behind. But I feel behind in my own timeline because I was imagining that I would be where I have been in the past, but not have to leave that life and then start over,
Right.
you know?
Okay. Speaking of comparison, how do you think that, because obviously we live through social media and we are constantly, I want to say, comparing ourselves to others. How has that played a role in your life? And has that led you to have any self doubt within yourself of where you should be or where you want to go? Again, talking about how you feel if you felt like you failed. How has social media played a role in that?
I think I'm pretty realistic when it comes to people that I don't know and their lifestyles. Because I feel like, I mean, people would be lying if they didn't want to live the life that celebrities do. Like that's just a lie. Everyone, if they could and they had the chance to, they would want to live like that because they get to travel, they make a lot of money, so they have big houses, they have help, they can eat healthier than normal people can because it's very expensive. All these things. So of course, like that is something that I would like one day, but I'm realistic. I know that's not, like something that I'm like, oh, I feel like I failed because of that. I I think when I look at social media and I see people like being able to travel a lot and like just experience like a lot of things that I have also been doing, but I haven't been able to for the past year, I think that's where it is because like I know it's attainable but like I can't right now. And like especially when I see people doing the things that I used to do and that I like loved, that's when I get like, oh fuck, like because I'm constantly like watching it, and I simultaneously have the memories of me doing the same things and how much I loved it. Like people going to the beach, people, not that you can do that in LA right now because of the fires, but like all those things is what
You'll
like
be surprised, by the way.
hmm.
People are at the beach still.
Yeah, I mean, like they shouldn't be, but yeah, that's kind of scary. People are still going.
It's
Oh,
life as normal, girl.
wow. See, that's not what I'm seeing on social media. I'm seeing that people are posting like how dangerous it is to go and
People are
etc.
at the beach.
Yeah.
I'll send you a video next time.
What about you?
Yeah. No, no, no. I think yeah, sometimes it can feel like a trap when you're looking at other people's the reels, the TikToks, and you want certain things that you don't necessarily have at the moment.
Right.
I think for me, I think this is why like I try to take a step back for social media, because it's easy to fall into that trap of like what you don't have, and like where I'm at currently of like being more grateful of what I do have and being more present in the moment, because like I have been on the other side where I do show a lot. I do, show all the good
Hmm.
things that are happening, starting to show a little bit of the things that are not,
Hmm.
just trying to talk more about how I'm actually feeling. But like it takes something to be vulnerable, which is
Yeah.
what we're doing on this
Mhm.
podcast.
Yeah.
But like to do it on social media, on camera, like that does take something. But I think for me, I have to take myself out of the situation so I'm not comparing myself. So
Mm.
I don't have that self doubt, so I can be confident in what I'm actually creating, and what I'm creating is for myself.
Hmm.
So I think that's where like I draw boundaries for myself, because a lot of people are like, "You're not on social media," because I'm like, "Oh, send me pictures. Are you traveling?" They're like, "Yeah." Go to my
Yeah,
feed,
exactly.
go to my story, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay,
No.
like I will when I have time, but like I'm not, because I know once I click that bubble,
Yeah.
that shit can go on half an hour,
Yeah.
2 hours, and I look at the time and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it. Where can we go to, or how can we make that shift of where we're looking at people and their social media
Hmm.
instead of comparing, like how can we shift that into being more inspiring?
I think for me, it already is like, I mean, again, like it's simultaneously like inspiring because that's my goal. Like I know that I can have that and I see it and I'm like, oh, because the thing, at least for me, like I can get jealous, but I'm not envious. I'm like, oh, like I wish I, but I'm like, I'm happy for other people, whatever they have, even though I want that. Like, even my friends, like that have the things that I want, right? Or people that I don't know that have the things that I want. I'm more like, oh my God, like that's fucking awesome that you're able to do it and you're living your life, you're killing it. I'm so happy for them, but I'm not like envious where I'm like, fuck, like bitch, like I can't have that, like then you can't either, type of thing. You know what I mean? And so I think for me it is, and I'm just saying because I'm only comparing myself to women, right? Like I'm not comparing myself to men because ew, ew. But I love seeing women killing it, and like that's what I inspire to. Like I'm literally only inspired by women that are like killing it, you know? Or even like my friends. But it's just like I don't know, like I don't feel and that it's a negative connotation to compare myself because I feel like I'm just like inspired instead,
Good.
you know? What about you?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I think like going to social media for me, like I can get fired up and like excited and be like, "Oh my god, she's doing that. I would love
Mhm.
to do that." Like
Mhm.
that's something that I would love to create for myself, and then actually like going out and doing it, you know?
Mhm.
Cuz sometimes like in the past I have like like you do learn a lot from it social media, but
Yeah.
like you can just constantly go to social media to keep learning.
Mhm.
For me, it's like I have to start applying it.
Mhm.
How long can I keep learning things until I start applying it? So that's something that, and that for me, taking a step back from social media like allows me to have the time and the space to actually create it. So I've
Well,
noticed for me like that boundary that I've set
mhm.
actually has supported me in like having the things that I want to create come to fruition.
Yeah. I feel like you and I consume very different things on social media, though. Like, if you're actively looking for something to watch, for you, it's more like personal development, like how to make money and like the business aspect. Whereas for me, I like to consume like facts and I like to consume like history and I like to consume like science, like things that I can just facts and things that I can store in my brain because I've gone to school for like I have two business degrees and I'm like if I'm gonna learn something that I can like apply, then I want to do it in like a different setting. Like I want to like write my notes and all this stuff. But I love that I can just learn like facts from smart people online. Like I think it's I guess I'm just curious about everything. So I want to learn everything. Like just an example, like I was watching, I think it was KTLA on Instagram posted a video of a what was it called? It was a type of shark. And because I was like, what does he have in his mouth? And it was like a very rare sighting of this whale. No, not whale. Sorry, the shark. It was basking shark. It's the second largest shark after the whale shark, and it looks horrifying. It has like the
Where does it live?
everywhere. It lives, first of all, in California, also in Scandinavia. Like it lives everywhere. Wait, let me just show it to you because
Oh God, look at those.
I know. I was like,
Are
what?
those teeth or that's the skeleton of
It's
like the
like its
mouth?
gills. Because
Oh,
it's like, it's a plankton eating shark species. So it has like these filter thingies so that it only eats like what it needs to eat. But it can get up to, wait, what did it say? 26 feet.
that's
So
so
like, and
funny.
then I was like in this then I just started doing a lot of like I read about that and then it was another shark that it was like similar and then I read about that. Like things like this, like that's what I like to learn on social media. But
I
I'm
love
a
it.
nerd, so
I can't. Yeah, I'm like, no.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're different. I mean, we're different,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. I
Yeah.
think this is perfectly fine. And I think this is why we have this podcast to share with people that we don't have to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And we can like different things and we could still be friends and
Yeah.
we could still hang and do whatever we want to do. You know?
We do still have a lot in common though, even though
We
like
do.
we
We
are
do.
different in certain areas. Because it'd be like, why are they friends?
I don't look up basking sharks. I don't go in the ocean that often, you know,
Mm,
because I do have a fear of sharks.
yep.
So that's yeah, that's so funny.
Those don't eat humans though, if that helps.
Oh God, great to know. Because I'm gonna identify it once I'm in the water, like, oh, that's a basking shark. I'll
You
be
will see
fine.
it. Didn't you see how big
The mouth
you would
was, I
recognize it?
don't
Yeah.
know. I hope in my lifetime I will never have an encounter with a basking shark or a
Yeah.
shark
Shark in
in
general.
that amount. Yeah.
Nursing shark is fine. They're not dangerous. CB, you
Yeah.
probably didn't even know that.
So funny. Yeah, I don't really have that much shark knowledge. That's fucking hilarious. I love
I've
it.
always found sharks and snakes to be very fascinating.
Hmm.
Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I just do.
Anyways, okay, we're getting off topic.
I just find them interesting.
I know. I don't know how you store all that information. So just to wrap it up, I would love to hear a personal story about like something that happened in your life that didn't go as planned, but it actually worked out for the better.
Hmm.
Looking back, grateful. What happened?
I mean, literally everything. It's crazy. Like everything I've tried in my life, I failed at. It sounds like that sounds bad, but like the whole picture of like what I was trying to do, like half of it, like I succeeded at, but like I still failed, in my opinion. And what it's been, it's me moving. I mean, this comes as no surprise to anyone that knows me, but like moving to LA, right? I've done it 3 times, and all 3 times it didn't work out. And so And that's really all I want. And it's not like I've been trying to become like the next Taylor Swift or like a movie star, and like I just keep getting rejected. No, it's just me trying to live like a normal life, but just in a specific city. And it just happens to be a very difficult country for people to move to. But like, I mean, I graduated with 3 degrees. Like, I graduated cum laude. Like, so I did succeed in that sense, but I still failed because I, it, I didn't succeed because I had to move back. And I have, and I feel like every time I do, as soon as it happens, I feel like I took 10 steps back because I already had the life that I wanted. And so like I've had a taste of it for 10 years. And then then I go back, but then I realize, okay, that was for this reason. And then, okay, but I'm going to try it again because I'm not going to give up. So I tried again and then it didn't work out, but then I came back. And then, for example, like, you know how last year was with like a lot of illness. And then, of course, now with everything happening in the US, thank God I'm not there because I'm not even going to get into it, but it's crazy. Like, it would not be safe for people like me who doesn't have a citizenship, like, period. And so, yeah, I realized why, but then now I'm like, it's still my goal because my end goal is to be back there because that's my home. That's where my chosen family is. That's where I feel like it feels like home to me, you know? But now I'm like, what do I do for the next 4 years? Because again, not gonna go back there until this moron is no longer in office. So like, what am I gonna do for these next 4 years? I don't know. But timeline wise, I'm just like, I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what? I'm still very young. I have so much time left, whereas 10 years ago when I was getting older, I was like, oh my God, like time is moving so fast and we don't have any time left. But I feel like it's shifted. My mindset has shifted. And I think honestly, it's because of social media, because everyone around me here, they have followed the same timeline, but I'm seeing online that people are like, no, you shouldn't. Like, that's where I'm hearing it over and over again, and it's making me feel like it's more common than I thought it was.
Yeah, I got it. So for me, I think that, like, obviously with my separation,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that my life was going to go a different way. Again, marriage, more kids, and like building a life with somebody else. But actually, this is actually working out perfectly for me because I've gotten to focus on myself, and I have never actually done that before, where I've actually taken the time to take care of me
Mm-hmm.
and do the things that I want to do that make me happy, that bring me joy.
Yeah.
And it's fucking amazing. And I love
Yeah.
it. And I'm not where I want to be yet, financially. But I think that, over time as I'm building, I'm doing a lot of different projects and stuff, and like actually getting into different things that I've never even considered.
Mm-hmm.
It's very exciting, it's very new, it's very scary, but like, I don't know. Let me fail a couple of times. Let me
Mm-hmm.
just try, because I think in my lifetime I'm here to try. It's a trial and error. But I feel like I'm confident in myself where I can start over again wherever I'm at. And because, I'm a survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and I will always just build wherever I'm at. So I guess like for me, I have really gotten over that sense of fear and doubt within myself, because now I really know my value. I know my worth. I
Mm-hmm.
know exactly what I can do. I'm confident, and like whatever happens, happens. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that breakup was a blessing in disguise. I think that it was perfect because I actually got to focus on myself and love myself.
So
But yeah,
good.
I love it. All right. So if there's one thing we want you to take away from this episode, it's this: you are not behind. Your life is unfolding exactly as it's meant to, even if it doesn't look like everyone else's. There's no right timeline, just your timeline.
Yeah. And listen, we know it's easier said than done, but just know that there is no timeline or no deadline for love, happiness, for success or growth, and you're exactly where you need to be right now.
So take a deep breath, let go of the shoulds, and start embracing where you are today. And if this episode hit home for you, we want to hear from you. DM us, leave us a comment, or share this with a friend who needs this reminder too.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. It helps more people find 30s Unfiltered and join our amazing and supportive community. So hopefully you got a lot of things out of this episode, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. We hope you got some takeaways from today's episode.
You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at 30s Unfiltered, or email us at 30sunfiltered@gmail.com.
Please leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to our channels. See you next time.